Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Here we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And today, really excited to have Sejal Thakkar with us. Great lady doing some really neat things to make a positive difference in our world. I'm so thankful to have her on. So first off, thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
Thank you, Chip, for having me here. Thank you so much.
Yes. Well, let's dive into it. I know off air, we talked a little bit about your story, but if you don't mind sharing your story and track us till now.
Sure, absolutely. So right now I'm doing a few things, but I'll kind of back up a little bit. I've been an employment lawyer since about 2003 in California, and I was representing management in employment law cases. And my specialty, a lot of the cases I worked on dealt with harassment, discrimination, a lot of hostile work environment cases. And so working on those cases, representing management, I saw that there were a lot of places where managers, well-intentioned managers got themselves in these situations and just didn't really know how to handle the situation. Yeah. And I saw the same thing with employees. Employees were trying to do their best. They were showing up at work to succeed. And then they didn't, something would happen, whether it's somebody making a comment or somebody saying something inappropriate. And it impacted their ability to do their jobs. And so I really felt a need to help resolve conflict, help educate people in the workplace, because we spend a lot of time at work. Right. And so the last thing we want is to be dealing with any kind of harassment or discrimination when we're spending so much time at work. Yes. So that's an area that I was really passionate about. And then in November of 2017, I decided to really kind of help organizations create cultures of civility. And really what I mean by that is helping them focus more on creating cultures where, regardless of your color or religion, when you're at work, we're going to treat everybody with dignity and respect. And honestly, that should be the case all the time. But at least in the workplace, I can do something. So that's where I'm focusing some of my efforts on. And so I've been training private employers and all over the world on how to be respectful in the workplace. Because honestly, Chip, I think a lot of us, we come from different cultures and different religions, and sometimes what might be okay for you in your culture may not be. And we just need to know, how do we address that situation in a respectful way?
Yes, no doubt about that. And I think that gives us the ability to grow when we have the empathy and respect for one another, and be able to celebrate the differences too.
That's right. I love that you said that. Absolutely. And that's actually an area where, because diversity and inclusion is a huge passion of mine. But one of the things I found when I was going to a lot of diversity and inclusion trainings is that I felt like they were focusing too much on our identity diversity, the color of our skin, things that we were born with, but not enough effort was being spent on helping us understand, how do we navigate through our differences? So you were raised differently than me. I was raised differently than you. And if there's some kind of misunderstanding, we need some guidance on how do we both get to the table in a collaborative way, in a respectful way, so that we can address that situation. Because here's the thing, these kinds of behaviors, let's say, for example, you made a joke, right? And for you thought it was funny, but because of whatever reason, it could be my religion, my upbringing, whatever, I didn't think it was funny, right? So I need to know how to be able to communicate that to you. Because if I don't communicate, which is what a lot of employees do, is they don't say anything. They just think it's going to go away. And the bottom line is it doesn't. It doesn't go away. It just continues to fester and fester and fester until it turns into a lawsuit, right? And so I'm trying to get in front of it before we get to the lawsuit place, because nobody wins once we end up there. So.
Yeah, that's not a good plan.
No.
Yeah. And well, just hearing your story, which is really neat story. What are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
Well, the number one thing would be to have my son. He's like the center of my universe. He's 8 now, and he really keeps me present and just day to day reminds me of why we're really here. And I really take what I learned from him. He teaches me so much. Mm-hmm. I take a lot of what he teaches me, and I use that in my education as well. So, being a mom to him is my number one priority. And so, that was one of the reasons why I started my own company too, is because I wanted to be at home more, and I wanted to have flexibility and just be there with him, because he's already 8 and I can't believe it. I'm like, wait a second, what happened to, can we go back? I know.
That time flies.
It does.
Yeah.
The second thing I would say is starting my own business. That was a huge accomplishment. I never, honestly, Chip, it wasn't part of my agenda to own my own business. My parents had their own businesses growing up, and I always kind of was afraid of that because I knew how much time and commitment and so, obviously their business was different, where there was like hard labor and they had to physically be there, and unless they had other employees. So it's slightly different. But I'm so happy that I went for it. I mean, I literally just went for it. I didn't have clients lined up. It wasn't the plan. And I just said, I'm going to do this. It's my passion. I'm going to go for it. I have something to say and I want people to hear it. And so here, luckily I'm still standing because COVID almost took me out. But I'm making my way back. So, I would say that would be my second thing. And I think the third thing is just, I'm really proud of my fact that I've been very resilient in my life and just overcome a lot and just been able to relate to so many people because of my struggles that I've gone through in my life. And just, I've learned so much from the people that have come into my world. And I'm always open to learning from people. And so just being able to be resilient, because a lot has been thrown my way, and it would have been sometimes I felt like it's easier to just crawl into a hole and never come out. And, but I'm proud of myself that I am who I am because I've worked really hard to get here, and I'm really proud of that.
That's it. And you can just time yourself. Hey, okay, I'll crawl into the hole just for a little bit.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Because it's a time and a place for all of that, right?
Absolutely.
But then after this little bit, then I got to get back out and fight. Right.
True. It's very true.
Yeah.
And I actually just posted something about that on LinkedIn the other day where I said, does anybody else want to go into a cave and hide out for a while? Like, what is going on with 2020 for real? Yeah. And I couldn't believe it. It got over like 6,000 views. I guess everybody's feeling that way. A lot of people are feeling that way.
Everybody's overwhelmed and head spinning and so many things going on. But I think at the end of the day, when you reflect on it and just kind of take a step back, you realize that, oh, wait, it's not just me. Mm-hmm. Like we're all going through the same pandemic, or
That's
we're
right.
all going through the same racial injustices, or we're all going through, all of those different things. It's in our world, the political thing. I mean, we're all growing through it together.
Yeah.
I say growing and not going because those are things that we have to live and learn through, and then grow from it and get the best out of it that we can.
That's right. Yeah, we're pivoting together, and we're seeing some things we've never seen before.
Ever.
Yeah. I was working with some employers before all this happened, and they were saying, we can't have anybody working from home. And now we've got more than 50% of the workforce that's working from home. And that brings, for employers, it brings a lot of different challenges that they weren't ready to deal with, And then, like you said, the racial movement, civil rights movement that's going on right now too. I mean, this is something that most of us have never seen, and it's a lot has happened in just a short period of time. And so again, another area where employers really need to pay attention to what's going on and stay on top of it so that they can stay out of the courtroom.
There you go. Well, just hearing you talk about your story or hearing you talk about the things that you're proud of, it's all really neat things, I think. And I would consider it to be hugely successful. So let's hit on success. What is your definition of success?
I resonated what you posted on LinkedIn that I commented on yesterday, I think it was, about your video on success. It's absolutely my motto. I live my life the same way. My idea of success is literally, I'm not out there competing against anybody else. I'm not. I really just want to be a better version of myself every day. I'm going to bring my game on every time, 100%, even if it's a 2-minute video I'm recording for something and I'm like, it doesn't matter. This is my 100%, and everything I do, whether it's a collaboration or a project, and I just bring my best and I try my hardest, and that doesn't mean everything goes perfectly. It usually doesn't. Usually there's a lot that you have to deal with on the way, but I know that the only way that I work is I trust my work ethic and really kind of what I'm bringing to the table, and also my intention of why I'm doing the stuff that I'm doing. That's a huge part of my success is a lot of the stuff that I'm out there talking about and doing. I'm doing a lot of advocacy work for Black Lives Matter, and I'm doing a lot of stuff for social justice, and all of these areas. I really bring it from the heart. It's stuff that I'm passionate about. It matters to me. It matters to us as human beings, and I'm just trying to build bridges. Every day of my life is to build bridges for people. So if I can introduce you to somebody, if I can connect you with somebody, if I can do something to help you, and it's possible for me to do that, I'm always down for it, because I just think that that's what we have, is our social currency is what we have. And we do that for people. And it's not always easy, because it's not like, people are going to always give you back in the way, but I don't worry about that. I really just worry about what I can give. I give what I can give, and that's to me is a good feeling. I just love helping other people. It brings me a lot of joy.
And there's a quote from one of my former pastors, and those of you that check this out, I'm sure you've heard me say this before, but and when I heard it, it blew me away. Like I knew it, but it blew me away. But he said, our life moves at the speed of our relationships. And kind of just what you explained, I mean, it's so true. Those of us that have great people around us, or people that look out for us, that connect us with great people, those people are doing great things. Absolutely. And those people that are not doing great things, they need more people like that in their lives.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, for me, I'll tell you, like, it's been just so beautiful, this journey that I've gone through, because there's been so many just wonderful people that are out there that are really, truly trying to make this world a better place, and I am intentionally surrounding myself with people like that, because that's just where I'm at in my life, is I'm out there with people that are like-minded, that really do care about helping us do what we need to do. And it's okay if you're not, so it's okay if you're not. It's not everybody's going to be wanting to grow at the rate that I want to grow, and that's okay. We go at different times, but I think at a very minimum, the people that I'm surrounding myself with are at least willing to be open and be reflective on their actions, and be open to looking at things from a different perspective. Not to say they have to agree with everything that I say, but at least be open to hearing it and to consider it. Because a lot of times we walk around with these kind of blinders on, thinking that this is how the world is, but really it's our subjective perception of the world, not the actual reality of the world, right?
Love it. Well, what has been a formula that you've used in your life to help you be successful? Something that you hold to, that you stick to, that you believe in? What has been something like that for you in your life?
hard work, hands down, it's hard work. I mean, no matter what, whether when I was growing up and I was, out there doing whatever, partying or whatever, I always kept my education as top priority. When I was working, nothing had to impact my goals and kind of the direction I wanted to move my life. Even after I had my son, I knew I didn't want to litigate anymore, but I was still driven by what I do, my work. And so I made it happen. I found a way to be able to work from home, still raise him. There's always things that you can do. And sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit, but if you keep working hard and you act with integrity, and everything that you do, and you don't take shortcuts, because shortcuts usually lead to short ends and you don't know where you're going to end up with that. But just acting with integrity and really just, putting yourself out there and making the time to build relationships, that takes a lot of hard work, building relationships. But I always fall back on that. Like I've said this to people. I'm like, it's not that I don't trust anybody else in this world, because there's a lot of people that I do trust, but at the end of the day, I trust myself the most. I have to trust myself. And so when I look in the mirror, I got to say, Sejal, all right, these are the things you have to do. And it's okay if, you don't get everything done, but I need to know that I can trust myself at the end of the day. And that's how I'm going to be successful. And how we define success, I guess it's another question. Right?
Yeah.
What is success? Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, before we get off, if you don't mind sharing with the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love.
Absolutely. So I'm on LinkedIn. Please connect with me on LinkedIn, because I really believe in sharing information. So I'm constantly sharing good articles about the areas that I talk about. I'm sharing resources out there. So that would be a great place to connect with. And that's really the only social media platform I'm really active on. And then my website, if you'd like to learn more about what I do, is www.trainextra, and that's TRAINXTRA.com. So there's no E in the extra, trainextra.com.
Well, there it is. Again, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Go get it.